All right. So now we are recording. Everyone is muted. Wonderful. Welcome to week 30 something. I don't even know what number we're on. 37, I believe. Homemade with TGP. Today we are lucky to have Jacob Wasserman, Tomer Langer, and David Strinkovsky, who all have a wonderful apartment together and are very good friends, teaching us how to make blended burgers and roasted head of cauliflower.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna start off. Welcome to their kitchen, everybody.
Yeah, welcome to our kitchen. This is the extent of it. So it's gonna be a little tight, but all right. So since it's just us three cooking and no one else is joining us, we'll go rogue and we'll kick it off. All right. So I'll start with the blended burgers. So Tomer's going to be the sous chef running back and forth, and David will be prepping the cauliflower in the background. So let's start. So I already told everyone to buy frozen vegetables. So just read the package. It usually takes between 5 to 7 minutes, depending on how soft you want the vegetables to get. But the origin of the blended burger was I am known in my house as the inventory man. So I know it's on every shelf. I know it's in every cabinet. And I was in the freezer one day and I said, what do people do with frozen vegetables? They are absolutely disgusting. So I thought, what would be the best way to actually get it in my system? And I said, oh, let me just crush it up really small and get in some chopped turkey and make a blended burger. So that was the origin. And I've been in this apartment 3 months and David and Tomer have not seen me make it once. So if it comes out disgusting, no one's making it. So bye by me. Cool. So these are already nice and soft, but the idea is keep this separate until we have the meat mixture ready to go. So Tomer, can you give me some packages of meat over there?
So did you leave the frozen veggies out overnight or something?
It's a question from the audience.
Good question, Zach. I think that was Zach. Yeah, we put it in the microwave for about 5 minutes and then we let it rest for 2 minutes. Yeah. So
Very nice, very nice.
Jacob, is that gray bowl? This is your father. Is that gray bowl from my house? Because I was looking for it this morning.
Me and Mom bought this at I think Home Goods before I moved.
Okay.
This is a $5 purchase.
I'm just checking.
So let's see. So this is Empire Kosher Turkey. So I'm sure everyone's familiar with this brand. Trash, thank you. Trash, thank you. Oh, side note for my mom and dad, I finally used that Empire Kosher free meat package. So this is what it's going to. Cool. So that's 2. Very nice. And then can I get 2 eggs, Tomer? You can throw them.
2 dozen?
Yeah, can I get 2 eggs? Thank you. Thank you. You can do 2 hands. You can do 1 hand. I do 2 hands. You can throw this out. Thank you. There you go. Oh, sweet. David, you can take this one. Thank you. Then you wipe your hands off. You don't want dirty hands. It's very important to keep a clean station. We watch a lot of Gordon Ramsay and who's the other guy?
John Taffer.
John Taffer and binging with
Babish.
Yeah, we keep it nice and clean. So what else do we need? Oh, breadcrumbs. Oh, side note, I don't measure anything. This is all eye work. Yeah. I'm not a good baker because I don't like to use the measuring cups, but cooking is different. So I think it is at least. So you're going to open the breadcrumbs up. David has a strict diet. He doesn't eat breadcrumbs, so I don't think he'll be partaking in this meal later. Tomer, can you open this so I don't embarrass myself? And then while I'm doing that, I'm going to look in the spice cabinet. Again, I do not measure anything, so I'm just going to go to work. So we have garlic powder. That looks good. So I'm going to add that. How much, you ask? Doesn't matter, as much as you want. Then let's see what else. We got chili powder. That looks good. Are those breadcrumbs opening up? Yes, not. Let's see. Oh, this is a big winner in our house. Saison. We love Saison. Give it a nice little orange color. There's that. And then this is my brother's favorite. He adds it to everything. We have Dash, formerly known as Mrs. Dash. Yeah, that looks good. Then what else we got going? We got breadcrumbs. They really jippy that way.
No, we don't have to embarrass anyone.
No, it's all there. There's no breadcrumbs in here.
Yeah.
All right. A little more breadcrumbs. Cool. Get it all over the counter. What else do we like? Do we like za'atar, Tomer?
These are your burgers.
Yeah, I'm not feeling za'atar tonight. And then, yeah, that looks good. Cool. So this is what the mixture looks like before you even chop it up. Oop, it almost got on the counter. All right, let's start mashing. Very cool. And so usually when I cook, yeah, there we go. We can mix it nice together. I'm not going to use my hands. I don't want to skeeve anybody out. Very nice. Make sure you mix that egg in. Very good. Everyone's happy. Look how good that looks. Just wait for the vegetables to get involved.
Jacob, what was in the mixture of your frozen vegetables?
Ooh, great question. So it's, Toby, you can zoom. So it's peas and carrots, and I don't like string beans, but I couldn't find one without them. And then
A lot of corn.
a lot of corn. Yeah, a lot of corn.
And it's one, is that one package or two?
Yeah, so, ooh, great question. So I do 2 packages of meat to 1 package of vegetables. Because you don't want it, it's a blended burger. You don't want too many vegetables.
Sure.
Yeah. That's what that looks like. Great. So now I'm going to wash my hands because I got meat all over it. Everyone's following along nicely. Very good. All right, so now I'm going to take my frozen vegetables. Yeah. And again, Zach always taught me, because he's basically the person who showed me how to cook besides my mom. He always says everything tastes better when it's nice and small. So I'm just going to mash it obnoxiously until I get nice small pieces so you don't even taste the food. Right, Zach? Oh, he's on mute, but he can't hear me. Yeah.
I agree.
I'm going to mash it nice and small. You don't want, like, if you're going to take a bite of a burger, you don't want a full carrot in your mouth. That's, just eat a veggie burger at that point. That's why it's a nice.
Also a choking hazard.
Very good point. Very good point, Zach. I wish I had a masher so it could mash a little better, so it may be a little chunky today. We were actually talking about that today. The chunky versus smooth.
That's
'Cause-
peanut
yeah,
butter. Yeah.
because Tomer likes his smooth peanut butter, where Strinkovsky likes, what do you like, chunky peanut butter?
Chunky.
Yeah. So you could write in the chat whether you like creamy or smooth peanut butter. I mean, creamy or chunky peanut
Does
butter.
that go in the burger also, or?
The peanut butter? Yeah. Instead of mayo. You put that- That's the spread. Yeah. Yeah. So you chop it up nicely. And then the mix. So here we go. So you're going to mix it. Voila. Very nice. Put that all together. It looks very chunky because we don't have a chopper, like I said. And then before you actually start forming it, you're going to put some more breadcrumbs just to keep the composure of the burger together, right? So it's looking nice. And of course, you add a little more seasoning to it because you don't want a stale burger. Oh, Tomer, you want to show them the bun I got? I went to Fairway and they had a specialty on Kaiser rolls. It's usually 99 cents, but it was 69 cents today. So in case it actually cooks in time, I'm going to do a nice cross section so you can see the full burger in action. There you go. All right, let me get some more breadcrumbs in here. It's gonna be great. How many people do we have on the Zoom right now? Can
Lot of hungry folk, I think.
Yeah, let me see. Can you do the gallery view? I'm just talking to, oh, we got a nice amount of people. Cool.
I think I see 24, Jacob.
I think that was the over under. We said it's gonna be like 25 people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so I think that's done. So I'm gonna wash my hands again. Very important to keep a clean station and clean hands. That's good. And then just a little more Saison. It didn't look orange enough. Just a little bit more. There you go. I measured that out. That's 2 tablespoons. A little more breadcrumbs. Keep it together. Very nice. And then what sauce should I do? I can't ask the audience. I have bone sucking sauce. I have teriyaki. I got duck sauce. I don't think that would be good. I would like to add duck sauce. If I wasn't on camera, I'd add duck sauce. But I don't want to embarrass myself. Okay. Cool.
Definitely the bone sucking sauce because that's some good stuff.
Show
Yeah,
the-
bone sucking sauce.
Got 5 of them.
We just bought a whole pack.
He just brought like a big jar of it.
Cool.
I think he broke his arm.
Can never have too much bone.
Is it open? Ooh, nice. So I'm just gonna put a little in there, but then we're also gonna do a little glaze on top. You know, from a glaze at Temple Gates. There you go. Ooh, that's nice. Cool. And then you lick the side. Delicious. Cool. You mix it together, and now, yeah, whoever's my sous chef, can you get the tray? I'm gonna start forming the burgers. Gonna have a great time doing that. Oh yeah, and then. What do I do? I think you're supposed to preheat the oven to 350. That was the number. And then Dean, I already have everything written up. I've been bad. I didn't send it to you. I understand. I've been very bad. But I know the email goes out tomorrow morning, so we have plenty of time. Cool. All right. So I don't know how many burgers this is gonna make. But we can play around. So again, wash your hands. Cool. Oh, we had a problem. Ooh, this is a fun little insider. So these used to be white, but then one day we put our red sheets in with the whites, and now we have pink towels. So we have not replaced them. All right, so let me wet my hands. I think that's a trick I learned from my mom. You're supposed to wet your hands when playing with turkey, because then it just sticks with your hands, right? Wherever you are. I know you're nodding your head. Cool. So you get a nice healthy handful.
Excuse me, I'm nodding my head and smiling.
Nice. So these are what the burgers look like, nice and close. That's how you get your veggies in your diet. Everyone loves it. We may need to do 2 trays. Oh, you know what I could do? I could do this. I could make like a sloppy Joe tomorrow. This extra.
Sloppy blended Joe.
You do a nice sloppy Joe. So that's another burger. Don't make them too big. Actually, you can make whatever size you want, but I don't like them too big. This is a very string beanie one. Cool. So now we're at 3. I think we could fit 8 if we really want to. David, can you lift up the camera so everyone sees how beautiful the display is? Yeah, there you go. Very nice. So this is very good. Just keep grabbing. This is nice. I don't hear anyone talking, just with my own thoughts. See, now I'm at so like burger number 4 or 5, you feel your hands getting sticky. So what you're gonna do after this burger, you're gonna go back to the sink and re-wet your hands. Very important. Because we don't want to stick it to my hands, we want it going in the oven. Very nice. Now they're a little too wet. The sink is full of raw meat. Cool. Yeah, I should just bought 1 pack of meat.
It's all right.
We don't have the biggest oven, as you can imagine, from our large kitchen. Yeah. So this is number 6. You know, I'm gonna be daring. I'm gonna make another one. I think we can fit 1 right there.
Yeah,
you think so?
Of course.
Very positive household.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On camera.
Off camera, not so much. Cool. Yeah. And then what else can I share? So we moved in end of March, early April. It's been the 3 of us. We live on the Upper East Side. I won't give my full address. I'm not sure I'm supposed to give that over the internet. And then boom. All right, so we have 7 beautiful burgers.
When are we coming for Friday night dinner?
That's a great question. Ask your son.
Once again, off camera. we'll talk later, Mom.
Cool. And now I don't want to skeeve Tomer out, so I'm going to stay with the same sauce. I mean, let me tell you. So I don't know what everyone's opinions on duck sauce are, but I've tried this one, Saucy Susan, and I love her. She is great. What's the other one I use? Dai. I don't think you.
Dianu?
Is
that the one?
Not Dianu. Yeah, I like Dai also. Cool. So that's 7 burgers. So I'm gonna pour a little bone sucking on top. And then again, we don't have the most amount of utensils to play with. If I was home in Roslyn, I'd definitely be playing with the paintbrush and painting it. But we can make do.
But we are accepting donations, so if
Yeah,
anyone's got a spare,
we
spare brush.
registered at Macy's backstage. So if anyone wants to give us some cooking gear, how can I?
Spoon, back of the spoon.
Back of the spoon. Yeah. So I'm gonna take a back of the spoon. Ooh, there you go. And then you're just gonna keep going until they're nice and glistening, nice and pretty. There you go. Look how beautiful these burgers are. We're gonna eat them up. Cool. And then you're gonna pop them in the oven.
It's already warm, right?
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, it's hot. Then you're gonna put them in like so. Don't burn yourself. And then boop.
See you later.
Yeah. And then that should take between 20 and 25 minutes. And the reason I use turkey is because my family doesn't really eat red meat. So that's the reason for the turkey burgers. I understand other meats may be more juicy, but we like turkey. So I think that's pretty much it for me. So I'm gonna kick it up to Strinkovsky, and I'm gonna get out of the screen because there's not a lot of room.
Yashikoa, Chef Jacob.
Shkoya,
Yashikoa, big Yashikoa. So good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday. So I'm a little different than Jacob. I am very big on measurements. This is my best friend right here, the food scale. So very, very particular about it, as Tome and Jacob will often tell me. I have this nice, beautiful USY apron I got many, many moons ago. But yeah, let's start adventuring. So I am big. I heard this Dvar Torah a few years ago where how do you know how to get to where you're going if you don't know where you're going, right? So at the end, we will get a beautiful cauliflower shard, nice as such. So this is our end product, right? But how do we get there? How are we like us on the map of the iPhone? You know, we always know where we are, where are we going to? So I'm gonna ask Tomer for some help. So Tomer, if you can pass me the cauliflower, that would be great. So we already have boiling water here, which will come in handy in a moment. Thank you.
You don't need this.
No, I'm good. So we have our beautiful cauliflower over here. So the important thing we want to do here is we want to make sure we get the stem off, but we need to make sure that the cauliflower itself actually stays together. So you can rip off the initial leaves if you find it easier. I generally will cut at the base. So you can cut at the base as such. All right, so we got most of it off, which is helpful. Get the rest. And the reason we want to make sure we really get the leaves off is because in a little bit, we're going to put this in the oven and we're going to put it on broil. So we want to make sure that the leaves don't end up burning. So that is very important. We don't want fires here, there, or anywhere. So we've got this clear. So right, perfect. You can see the bottom. We just have the stem, the cauliflower still together. So Tomer, if you can pass me the salt, that would be great. Perfect, thank you. And the tablespoon. So we have boiling water here already. Normally, I would say you should use a half a teaspoon, but because our salt is frighteningly big, I'm gonna say you should use a quarter teaspoon. So add a quarter teaspoon of salt to some nice boiling water. So that way the texture of our cauliflower comes out nice and neat. So we put the cauliflower into the boiling water. I'll set a timer for 5 minutes. Where is it? 5. Okay, so in the meantime, while the cauliflower is soaking very nicely in the boiling water, I'll ask Tomer for some garlic. So this recipe, what I love about it, I got it from my mom, who I love very dearly. But this recipe you can make, you know, there's a lot of different ways to make it. You can make it with cheese, without cheese. It's perfect for any dinner, you know, parve, meat. You could use buffalo sauce if you wanted to. So with the garlic specifically, really depends how much garlic you like using. I'm a huge garlic fan, but definitely recommend thinly slicing it. Because you'll see you really want to spread the wealth on this garlic. So I'll typically take about 6 cloves or so, maybe a little less, and I'll slice them thinly just so you can get a little bit of a better read. I'll probably slice them this thin. I don't have a measurement on that, but when someone gets us a ruler off of the registry, we can.
We need a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we can start measuring. So you take
David,
Yep.
there was a question of, can you steam the cauliflower instead of boiling it?
Yeah, you could steam it. You definitely could steam it. The result would be, yeah, similar result. I think my mom actually steams it. So yeah, you can definitely do that.
So where'd you learn to boil it?
I just kind of found it easier.
Yeah.
Especially with what we've got with this electric stove, I got used to the boiling side of things. So still cutting away at it. We still got our timer going. For this recipe, I've made it where in the end, I'll put the cauliflower in for, you know, at a lesser temperature for 40 minutes. So if you're making other things, you know, you definitely want to be conscious that you can have it in the oven simultaneously. So I'll typically put it into the oven for at about 400 for about 40 minutes, or I'll put it on broil and I'll use a bit of the eye test as long as you're monitoring it by itself. So either works, but just so you know, in case you're cooking anything else as you have this. So right now I have a pretty good amount of garlic. I'm pretty content with the garlic we've got going on. So in the meantime, I'll also get ready. We're gonna use this bowl. It's gonna serve as a little bit, it's a special, you know, Wasserman edition bowl. We're gonna use this bowl that will ultimately, we're gonna have some olive oil in there. We're gonna have some salt and pepper. You can use other spices if you like it, but I figure I'll give you guys just kind of the basic version of it. Tomer, oh, there's the olive oil. And if you can pass the pepper, that would be great. Huh? Yeah. So with the pepper, actually there's a cup. Oh, there's the cups. So this cup has about a quarter of a teaspoon, just so you know. And with the salt, since we already had it there in the boiling water, it should be enough for the texture. But if you, for some reason, ever forget, you can also put a quarter of a teaspoon of salt into this mix as well. So the cauliflower is going to be good to go in about 1:40. So we'll proceed from there.
Are there any questions
Are there
from
any
the audience?
questions so far in the meantime?
Did you buy peeled garlic?
No, I actually I like taking like a whole, like, you know, a whole head of garlic and I'll cut it. But I did prep for this, so I had it ready to go.
David, when I first tried to make it, I took whole pieces of garlic. I mean, I don't want to ruin what you're going to do next, and stuck it in. So that wasn't right.
I don't know that there's a wrong, you know, as they say, there's a different tower on the road, but there is, you know, there's a lot of different ways to do it. Not one right, not one wrong.
Okay. And right now your water is boiling. You never lowered it, right?
No, never lowered it. So in a minute or so, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to put it into this bowl. You could also strain it if you really wanted to, just for temperature's sake, but I'm just going to put it into this bowl. And at that point, I'm going to start using the olive oil, and we're going to make a little bit of a mixture before it goes into the oven. So 36 seconds. In the meantime, actually the 30 seconds, well, we can move on. So I will use tongs because this is not such a big head of cauliflower, so we can get that out. Okay, thank you for the close up. So we'll put the cauliflower in. It's nice, it's hot, it's looking beautiful. We'll then take the pepper. I'll flip this around. I'll put the bottom up first because you'll see the seasoning will go to the bottom. So once we then flip it, that you want to make sure you get like an even disbursement of this, you know, the sauces and or that's what's the word in English? Sorry, Russian's the first language. Like peppers or anything else you're using. So we'll put some pepper here. Remember, it's a quarter of a teaspoon. So we'll put some here. And then we'll also take, if you can pass that. So we're going to use 3 tablespoons total. But in order to make sure we're getting a good spread, we're going to make sure to use 1 tablespoon at the bottom, which is currently the top. I know it's a little all over, but that's 1 tablespoon. Turn it around, right? Then we'll flip the cauliflower. So now we have the mixture at the bottom, which is really helpful. We'll put a 2nd tablespoon, that's on top. And we'll take a 3rd tablespoon, we'll also put that on top. And obviously, if you feel like, you know, you want something less oily, you know, more than free, use more, use less, whatever your preference is, your minhag. So we'll take the additional pepper that we have. And I don't really want to use too much more salt because we want to see kind of how this winds up. So now I would say, obviously, make sure your hands are clean. You want to, because now that the mixture's on the bottom, you can kind of mix it around. So we mix it around, we make sure everything is spread even. So now this is where it gets very exciting. You can use a knife if you want to, or if you feel like you have enough of a seam, you can just put the garlic in, but I'll show you. So we take the garlic, the thinly sliced garlic that we had, and you can take a knife and just poke, little baby holes in there to make sure things can fit. And you want to make sure, if you can, that they go deeply in there. Oops, sorry, slipped. That they go deeply in, because sometimes if you're charring it, you don't want it to burn too much. So, sorry. We put this one in here. The thinner you slice it, generally, the better it is. Sorry, let me grab a few more here. So we keep sliding the garlic in there. And at this point, also, if you were to hypothetically make this with cheese, you could also drizzle this with cheese before we put it in. But of course, if you're having a meat meal, we're not going to have any of that unless it's the fake cheese, but to each their own. And let me just grab the last few. Slide it into the creases. Thank you to Tomer. Very, very helpful. Okay, fantastic. And we'll put one on top. Okay, perfect. So now at this point, we have our garlic in. If you want to put more, you can put more. We've got our salt, we've got our pepper. So at this point, now we would take a baking sheet. If we have one, that would be great. So, and the important thing also, this is just, trial and error has taken me far in life. And it's important that you have the sheet flat out. Tell me if you just want to show them that it's flat. If you might think, oh, I'm gonna push the foil in. I wouldn't do that when it's actually in the oven, because what you'll find is that the top will char, but the sides will not. So you want to make sure that you leave it flat. And then at the end, once it's good to go out of the oven, then you can take it out. So everything's in. We take the cauliflower. Now it's on the tray. Since we have all of this nice juice left over that we had before, so everyone can see, we'll then take that and we'll gently pour it over as such. Very gentle. Very gentle. Perfect. Okay. So now, want to wash our hands. We don't want any kind of cross-contamination going on here.
Very important.
Yeah. Never know when the Department of Health is strolling by these streets. So wash our hands. Hands are nice and clean. We can start snacking in the kitchen. You can have a nice glass while you're cooking. And then want to make sure, where'd they go? Yeah, some beautiful oven mitts. Very, very courteous to our animal friends. So we got the oven mitts. We got the cauli, and so we still have the burgers in there, but the burgers still work with this because we just need to pop it into the oven. So I'll pop it in.
Tell them how the burgers look.
Burgers look fantastic.
Yeah.
Whatever reservations you have for the next 2 months, cancel them.
Ooh.
This is looking nice. So now, because we have it in the oven we're at 350 still with the burger, so you can keep going with the cauliflower. You should probably have it in there for maybe an hour 10. But again, if you're cooking the cauliflower by itself, which I'll send the instructions to Dina for, you can have it in there at broil. Just keep an eye out on it. You don't want to burn it, but also don't be afraid to burn it. Or if you have other things in there, again, you can kind of level set the temperature. So
David, I have a question. Is there a dipping sauce with that cauliflower?
Yeah, so that's a really, really good question, actually. I will typically use like a garlic aioli kind of sauce, like a mayo-y kind of sauce that goes really well with it. I know some people just prefer to take like lemon mint, and they'll kind of, go very, very organic with it. So there's a lot of different ways you can take it.
All right. What sauce does Jacob like? What does he usually dip it in?
Duck sauce. The Dai duck sauce comes back. There's never enough.
How do you serve it? Do you slice it? Do you break it up into smaller pieces?
So if you ask my mom how I eat it at home, I will take the whole head of cauliflower and just go at it myself. But no, typically I will, I'll cut it in quarters, and then really depending, when it's just my family, the quarters are enough. But I'll almost like cake slice it because it's something everyone just keeps grabbing more for. And you'll see the base almost has a richer flavor than the outside of the cauliflower, which is pretty cool.
David, could you use all the same slices and just pre-started off as cauliflower steaks to begin with?
Yeah.
Just try it that way?
Yeah, you definitely could. You definitely could. A lot of variety to cauliflower. It's a beautiful thing.
I missed it. How long do you keep it in oven?
In the oven, if it's by itself, you can broil it. I would probably say you shouldn't have it in there for more than like 8 minutes on broil. But if you're cooking with other things, I would tell you you should have it in at 400 for about 45 to an hour.
David?
Yeah.
Does it go well with the sauce for manitas?
There's
Great question.
There is nothing that has yet been discovered that does not go well with that sauce. Yeah. Any other questions? Any suggestions? Always open to new ideas or creations.
Yeah,
What wine would you pair with it?
What wine? I am lately, as we are in the summer, I'm a big rosé guy in the summer.
How about Manischewitz?
What?
Manischewitz.
Listen, if we're asking Tomer, we got to get the Bartonera. I don't
That's
want to
the
offend him.
Bartonara, baby.
If you come to my house in Rockland County, you might find vodka, but that's another story.
Very healthy, you guys. Very healthy.
Yeah.
Only on camera.
Do you put lemon juice on top?
Do I put what?
Lemon juice on top of the cauliflower.
Yeah, you could put lemon juice really in 2 places. You could put it one when you mix in with the oil, but I would probably recommend you do it after.
Right, like a few minutes before taking it out.
Yeah, before taking it out. Yeah.
And David, if you were going to put the cheese on it, at what point do you do the cheese?
So the cheese, if you're broiling it, you can pretty much do it off the get-go because it's really not in there for so long. But if you're going to go the route of having it in the oven for, the 445 minutes, I would probably wait until like the last 10 or so to get it in there so it like melts nicely, but the rest of the cauliflower is charred already.
Cool.
Which cheese would you recommend?
Oh, that's a great question. What?
Your mozzarella.
Yeah, I'm a big mozzarella guy, but if you're going, it really depends what kind of mood you're going for. I think it's nice.
What's on the camera?
I think it's nice with Swiss.
Right.
It blends well with other dishes, whereas mozzarella I feel like is more dominant.
Jacob.
Very deep.
Jacob, when your burger is ready and you have your nice Kaiser roll, what are you going to put on the burger?
This is a great question. You know what I'll do?
You already have vegetables, so you don't need lettuce and tomato.
Exactly. I usually don't. I'll probably.
Hello, one more time.
Hey, credentials. I'll probably take mayo and sriracha, make like a sriracha mayo spicy.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and then I'll scarf it down probably 3 bites.
A little onion? How about a little onion?
I was gonna caramelize an onion, but as you saw, there's not a lot of elbow room in here, so I rather David have his time to shine.
I think you guys did great.
Will you show the rest of the kitchen to like where Tomer was saying, like where was he grabbing them?
This is literally the kitchen. This is the desk in my room.
Oh yeah.
And then this is our little table.
And you guys are both, you keep meat and dairy in there?
Well, I don't really eat. Yeah, we don't really eat dairy so much.
Okay, so you're meat kitchen.
Yeah, if we ate a lot of dairy, it would be a problem.
Yeah,
Well,
Dina, that's how old my old kitchen, big home. That's why I'm only dairy in my apartment.
Yeah, and then we were talking about what recipes to make, and I was always making the blended burgers, and David was so excited to make a Russian salad. But correct me if I'm wrong. Who made the Russian salad? Was that?
Lana made it.
That was Lana.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't do 2 Russian salads within what 30 episodes. That's too far few between. So we went with the cauliflower. But David also has been making something that we'll do it another time. What's the peanut
Oh,
butter?
the peanut butter
Yeah.
protein balls. Yeah, they're very good, and you can also put coffee in them too. So
That's for the
that's
bodybuilders.
for next time.
That's the
Keep it coming
bodybuilder. Yeah,
back.
that's the bodybuilders of Temple Gates.
Yeah.
Got a lot of protein in it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then this is really it. This is the entire kitchen. Yeah.
in all its glory.
Wow.
Yeah.
And show the beautiful brick wall.
Yeah, this is our exposed brick wall. Yeah. And this is
No.
where we sit.
Yeah. I'll also just give one more mention on the cauliflower. A nice thing you can do with it too. It's a good recyclable food. So if you're making a salad or something a day later, you can just cut the base and then chop up the cauliflower and put it into a salad or a nice rice bowl or grain bowl. So, always on recycling.
Night at the theater, my favorite kind of date. I even
love the music. It's a beautiful touch.
Cool. Any other questions?
How much more time till your burgers are done?
You want to see me take a bite of that burger, Dina? Is that what's going on?
No, we want to see the end result.
Yeah, I mean, I can take it out. Hold on, let me see what the timer is. I have how many more seconds or minutes? I have 3 minutes left.
All right, we can stay on for 3 more minutes, but I'm gonna stop recording. So now people can really chit chat and talk and stuff. So hold on, let me stop recording.